Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In the last video, we covered the basics of the present simple tense, including its rules and keywords. Now we are going to dive even deeper to explore more about how and when to use the present simple tense. So let's get started. Let's talk about irregular verbs in English. So these are verbs that don't follow the regular pattern when changing from the present tense to the past tense. Usually regular verbs just by adding ed at the end to form the past tense, like play becomes played. But irregular verbs are different. They don't follow this rule. Instead, they change in unique ways and we just have to memorize them. For example, it becomes ate, buy becomes bought. So when we want to say something about who we are, where we are, or how we feel, we use the verb to be. Let's look at each one. Here, under to be, we have the variety of words. I am. So you are. He, she, or it. We are. They are. So I am. We use am when talking about ourselves. Example, I am a student. You are. We use are when speaking to one person or more. Example, you're my friend. Likewise, he, she, or it, we use is when talking about one person or thing. Example, she is happy, he is brave, right? And we use are when talking about ourselves and others. We are excited, we are happy. They are. In the same way, we use are when talking about multiple people or multiple things. So remember, for I, we use am. For you, it's are. And for he, she, or it is. It is. We and they both use are because that's plural, right? Next is to have. If you see under to have, it is like I have, you have, she, he, or it has, we have, they have. So here I have. We use have when talking about our own things. So this to have verb itself, it shows some possession or something we own. Here's how we are going to use it. For I, it's I have. I have a car. I have a bungalow. And for you also is have. Use have when speaking to one person or more. You have a dog. And he, she, or it is has. So he, she, or it, we use has when talking about one person or thing. He has a new phone. She has a bike. And for we, plural, we use have when talking about yourself and others. So we have a project, we have tasks to complete. Have. And they also, it's have. So they, we usually use have when talking about multiple people or things. Remember, I, you, we, they, all these words use have. But when it comes to the third person, he, she, or it, we use has. Okay, finally, let's look at to do. To do, if you see, it's I do, you do, he, she, or it does, we do, and finally, they do. So I do when I say I do. Use do when talking about yourself in a normal statement or question. So this to do itself, we use it in terms of questions or negatives. Example, I do my homework. Do I need a ticket? So these are some examples for I do. And you do. Use do when speaking to one person or more. Example, you do your chores. Do you like music? So here you do. And for he or she or it is does. Use does when talking about one person or thing. Example, she does yoga. Does he speak French? And for we use do when talking about yourself and others. We do our best. And the same applies for they also. They plural again, they do. They do their work well. When talking about people or multiple things, multiple people or multiple things, we use they do. So important for questions and negative sentence, do and does are used with the base form of the verb. I do not like coffee. She does not understand. Right? Let's move on to the next one. We'll see the negative sentences. The structure that we use with the present simple tense to communicate the negative are subject like I, you, we, they, plus auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verbs are helping verbs. Do plus not, because negative sentence not, plus main verb. So here is a sentence structure for the negative sentence. Subject plus auxiliary verb plus not plus main verb. I do not like beer. Again, she does not like beer. So here when it comes to I, it's do. And when it comes to he, she, or it, we already have seen it is does. For positive sentences, there is no auxiliary verb. But if you want to emphasize the something is true, you can add do or does depending on the subject even in positive sentence. This is more common in spoken English. Examples, if you want to say something without emphasis, I like coffee. But with emphasis, you are emphasizing something, then it means like, I do like coffee, right? Sometimes we do say to emphasize our sentence. So this emphasis that you really like coffee may be in response to someone doubting you. So let's see some more examples. I don't swim a lot these days. She doesn't care if she's late. So always remember where to use do, where to use does, and where to use don't or doesn't. It doesn't rain very much in the south. We don't think it will be a very good movie. They don't like to go out late during the week. So these are some more examples. Questions in the present simple tense. For question sentences, we exchange the subject and the auxiliary verb or main verb with positive questions and negative questions. For auxiliary verb positive, like we can use do you like coffee? Don't you like coffee? This when it comes is negative. And does she want more cake? This is the positive sentence. Doesn't she want more cake? These are the negative sentence. So this is how you can make questions using positive and negative simple present tense. And the main verb, if you're using to be main verb, like are you French? That's the positive question. Aren't you French? That's the negative. Is she French? Positive. And isn't she French? Negative. So these are some of the examples where we exchange the subject and the auxiliary verb or main verb with positive questions and negative questions. So that concludes today's lesson on the simple present tense. For more information on this topic, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Feel free to like, share, and leave a comment if you have any queries. I'm here to help. See you in the next video. Bye for now. Bye-bye.